Welcome to CBS Sports HQ. That is Dallin Cuff, and I am Casey Kieran. We have a packed Monday show for you. We've got, of course, a golf tournament to finish up. Phil Mickelson leads at Pebble by 3 strokes. We've got a lot of highlights on the hardwood, but we also have a big announcement to get to.
Yeah, recruiting is the lifeblood of any program, and this is a huge announcement coming up for Anthony Edwards. And he is the top uncommitted prospect by 24/7 Sports. And he'll make that decision exclusively on HQ with our Evan Daniels in just a few minutes. The Georgia native's final schools are Florida State, Kentucky, and his home state and school of Georgia. A little more on Anthony Edwards. Not Goose. He's not Gilbert from Revenge of the Nerds either. He's a baller. 6'5", combo guard, can get you buckets. Strong, explosive athlete. Over the summer, the last summer circuit, he shot 45% from 3. He's deadly with the ball, great out of ball screens, 6'5", 215. He's the top prospect by 24/7. The top composite prospect across all these rankings is still James Wiseman, but Edwards is second in that.
NBA on a Sunday. If you think stars get all the calls, call this confirmation bias. But which star are we talking about? Stars everywhere with the Heat and the Warriors. 2 minutes to play. Heat down 4. Josh Richardson, not a star, but he played like one on Sunday. Career high 8 for 11 from downtown. Dwayne Wade blocks Kevin Durant's shot. Defense into offense. Heat up 1 now. They overcame an 8-point fourth quarter deficit. Richardson again, this time with a steal, slams it home, a career high 37 points. Heat up 3. Ensuing Warriors possession. Watch closely. Kevin Durant, if you're not going to guard him, he's going to take it. Takes and makes the 3. We're tied at 118. KD again with the ball. 10 seconds to go. Watch closely. Did you see it? We'll show it to you again. Right there, Boogie Cousins gets fouled on his layup. He'd make the free throws, but watch. Is this double dribble? Is this double dribble? Perhaps. It doesn't matter.
That's tough. It looked like his foot.
The ref didn't call it. That's all that matters. Dion Waiters, could he win the game? No, he could not. So the Warriors win the game, 121-18. Dwayne Wade not exactly crushed. He's cool.
It's the World Tour he's going on, man.
Swapping jerseys with Steph Curry. Steph had 25 points. Clay had 29. Warriors 4-game win streak. They won 15 of 16. You know who did think it was a double dribble?
Probably Eric Spoelstra.
Eric Spoelstra.
A very competitive game. And look, NBA, do not find me. I'm allowed to say this. It ends up being, 26-8. I know nobody wants to hear it, and that's not why we lost. We had a 3-point lead with a chance, to get a stop, and we actually did not play it well on Durant's handoff. And an MVP comes off, and he's wide open for a 3, and ties it up. But then on the very next possession, it's a double dribble. Everybody can see it. Those are tough calls to make, but everybody saw it. It's right there in front of everybody. That should be a violation.
Yeah.
And you can't miss those calls.
It'll be interesting to see if he does get fined, or if the "don't find me" thing works. Right? That would be interesting. Here's some trends.
That's like with all due respect. With all due respect, he's the meanest thing possible. You really can't do that.
Yeah. Take no offense, but
yeah, exactly.
The underdog, very good against the spread the last 20 meetings between these two teams. And remember that because they play again in late February. Our Colin Ward-Henninger there last night, he's got more reaction from the locker room.
The Warriors overcame another slow start on Sunday to beat the Miami Heat. After the game, Steve Kerr credited Kevin Durant. He said that the Heat were so good at defending the three-point line that it was the ultimate weapon to have a guy like Durant who's so good in the mid-range and can get to the rim. Durant was 15 for 17 on 2-pointers, and he was just 1 for 7 on 3s. But the biggest shot of the game, according to Kerr, was Durant's game-tying three-pointer from the top of the key that really regained the momentum for them heading towards the end of that game. Of course, the other big storyline was that this was Dwayne Wade's final game here at Oracle Arena, barring an NBA Finals run, which at this point seems unlikely. After the game, Steph Curry got the ceremonial jersey exchange with Wade, and Curry said that he looked at Wade and said, "Hey man, are you sure you're done? It seems like you've got a couple more years in you." But apparently Wade's going to be sticking with the retirement. The Warriors have overcome a couple slow starts here, but they're not going to be able to do that in their next couple games against the Jazz and the Blazers back-to-back. Steve Kerr said that they really need to get into practice. They need to get into shoot-around and work on these issues that have been bothering them. Kevin Durant said that their effort on Sunday was just atrocious, and they came out like it was a Sunday walk in the park, and they can't expect to get away with that against good teams like the Jazz and Blazers. Draymond Green said that what's been bothering this team most recently is their lack of offensive rebounding and their turnovers. He said giving teams 20 extra shots than we get is just unacceptable. He said rebounding is not that hard. He said whoever wants the ball usually gets it. So that's something that they're going to have to work on these next two games heading into the All-Star break.
All right, it is time for a really exciting announcement here on CBS Sports HQ involving the #1 prospect in high school hoops.
That is Anthony Edwards. He's choosing between Florida State, Kentucky, and Georgia. Let's get down to Georgia at Holy Spirit Prep. Our Evan Daniels is with Edwards.
Welcome to Holy Spirit Prep Academy in the heart of Atlanta. And sitting next to me is the nation's #1 player in the country, Anthony Edwards, and he is ready to announce his college choice. Anthony, you've narrowed your finalists down to Georgia, Florida State, and Kentucky. How difficult was this process for you?
I mean, the process was pretty difficult. All the top coaches coming in and out of school every night, calling my coach's phone. I mean, it was difficult. It's a hard decision, but we came to a final school.
Well, the nation is waiting. Where will you be attending college basketball next season?
I'll be attending college basketball at the University of Georgia.
Georgia it is, and Tom Crean has to be smiling in Athens. Anthony, why Georgia?
I chose Georgia because two of my favorite players, Dwayne Wade and Victor Oladipo, was coached by Tom Crean, and he's a great coach with player development.
How much did that factor in, those two guys, knowing that they went and played for him?
I mean, they came in not highly rated, so they came out a really good player, and Dwayne Wade has had a really good career, so it weighed big on me.
Describe the moment for me when you knew that Georgia was the place for you.
I went to a game. When I went to the unofficial on the game, I just felt the fans in the gym, everybody was showing love, so I just felt like I was home.
Obviously, that's only an hour and a half away from here. You're extremely close with your family, your friends. How much was a factor was that?
I mean, my sister just had my nephew. I mean, I want him to see me play, see me grow. I want to see him grow, so it was a big factor.
Obviously, you're known for your athleticism and your ability to score, but what do you think you can bring to that Georgia team next year?
Playmaking, getting everybody involved, just making the team better.
What's the prediction for next season?
National championship.
So congratulations, Anthony.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Back to you, Dallin.
Thanks a lot, Evan. Congrats to my man, Coach Crean. He's a great coach, and you heard him reference Dwayne Wade and Victor Oladipo in player development. But it was fun working with Coach Crean last year, getting to talk to him about Oladipo in particular. He was so involved in that young man's development, helping him, even now, still talking to him. So it's good that type of mentorship is recognized by young men, and then he gets the benefit by going and playing for Coach Crean now.
Yeah, and Anthony Edwards is actually a really highly touted prospect, even in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
And he said Victor Oladipo, D. Wade, not so much. It's different with Anthony Edwards, but all of them will be coached by Tom Crean.
For sure, it's going to be great. That's a huge win. Coach Crean's first year at Georgia, taking over that program. And they've had some bobbles, and he's getting things right in a really difficult SEC. But to win in that conference and to win at UGA, you have to get recruits in Atlanta to stay home. This is a humongous get for Coach Crean and the Bulldogs. We'll be back with more HQ in a minute. Anthony Edwards is heading to Georgia, one of the best scorers in high school hoops.